Hey guys, I'm JD and welcome back to the Dimensions Woodworks Woodshop. Today we're going to be taking a look at how to install a quick release vise on your brand new woodworking workbench. Let's get started.
This video is brought to you by Woodcraft, helping you make woodwork since 1928.
So the first thing that you want to do whenever you get your vise and hardware out of the packaging is go ahead and clamp it to the side of the bench about where you want it to be mounted. Once you have a rough idea of the size of the jaw for your vise, go ahead and cut it out, but make sure to leave a little bit extra length and width so that you can fine tune it later. Now you can go ahead and remove the clamps that are holding the vise in place. Take the back plate off of the assembly, and then if you have a quick release vise, you can take the quick release nut out. Make sure you pay attention to the orientation, as this will be very important later. Now you can use clamps to put the vise plate back in place. Use a pencil to find the center of the holes, and then use a center punch to go ahead and mark them so that the drill bit has a good place to rest. Pre-drill all the holes for the mounting of the vise plate to the bottom side of the bench. Now you can clamp the front jaw back in place. Make sure to leave it proud of the top so that you can plane it flush later. Then use a pencil to mark where the main screw and the guide rails will come through the front jaw. You will want to use a spade or Forstner bit that is just a little bit larger than the screw and the guide rails to give you some play and to also reduce binding later on. Then drill about halfway through from the top, then flip it over and finish the cut from the back to reduce tear out. Now you can put the front of the vise back into the holes of the front jaw. Seat it in place, then mark your mounting screws with a pencil once again. I know this may seem redundant, but I always like to use a punch so that the drill bit has a firm seat and it doesn't wander as you try to drill the hole. Then install the screws that will mount the front of the vise to the front jaw. With a quick release vise, you just barely want to put the screws and the guide rods in place so that you can situate the quick release nut. Make sure it's in the proper orientation, then screw it down. Then reinstall the back plate. This plate is there to ensure that you cannot back the main screw all the way out of the quick release nut. Now it's time to install the handle on the vise. Since I went with a Wood River quick release vise, I decided to use a Wood River handle that's specifically made for this vise. But you can get really fancy and go crazy with making your own handle if you like. Then it's time to just plane the top of the front jaw flush with the edge of the top of your bench. Once everything looks good, then it's just time to apply your favorite finish to your front jaw of the vise.
And I chose to mount this vise where the inner jaw is the actual side of my workbench, but you have a couple of other options when doing this as well. You can either make an inner jaw that is just the length of your outer jaw, or you can make an inner jaw that spans the entire length of the side of the workbench. In both of those options though, you will have to transfer the holes for your two guide rails and your main screw to that inner jaw before mounting it to the side of the bench.
Thanks so much for watching, y'all. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel so that you can be notified when we release new content. And until next time, don't forget to get better every day.